with these emerging accelerated protocols that we're seeing, at research centers and some other centers in the community, we're seeing suicidal ideation decrease independent of the depressive symptoms. So TMS at some point, particularly with the accelerated protocols, may be used like ketamine is being used at this point.
So what does a typical TMS protocol look like, and how long does it start? Does it take before you start to see some results?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have, if I'm a patient, what can I expect when I come into your clinic for TMS? So the first appointment typically is where we calibrate the coil, and we actually position the helmet over the motor cortex, and we get the hand to move. It's actually really cool.
Right.
And that way we know that the power is high enough, but it's not too high. Okay. And then that usually takes 15 to 20 minutes at the most. And then we reposition the helmet for the first treatment. So there are different stimulation protocols, but for depression, for most of the appointments, the average appointment time is about 20 to 30 minutes. By the time you check in, put the helmet on, positioned. So it's about a 30-minute appointment at most clinics. And you can drive to the treatment. You can drive away from the treatment.
Right.
There's no cognitive impairment. Many patients might bring a friend or a family the first treatment, but they see how tolerable it is, how easy it is. Usually by the third or fourth treatment, people are just coming in. They're comfortable talking to the technician or the staff.
Right.
And so, it's... most people get at least 20 to 30 treatments 4 to 5 days a week. We like to give the brain a break on the weekends.
Okay. Yeah, right.
And then there's a tapering phase or a continuation phase. So most treatment courses and most insurance companies are approving, kind of 35 to 45 treatments. And when we look at kind of responders, there's a group, about 20 to 25% of patients will be rapid responders. They'll feel the effects after 3 or 4 sessions. They'll feel this kind of like brain high and a little more energy. And we call those our rapid responders. They're really fun to treat because, they get it, they see the effects early on. The average responder might take more 3 to 4 weeks, right, before they get to that 50% improvement at, 4 weeks. And then we have some late responders where, they're feeling it at kind of 25 to 35 sessions. A lot of times for those folks, we can extend the course, of course, with insurance approval. And again, for depression, about 8 out of 10 people will get a full response. So we kind of have these 3 groups,
right.
Early, kind of average, and then kind of late responders.
Right. Now, so one of the best practices that we learned that we started, that we implemented here at our practice was the ITMS or the theta burst at the end of a regular deep TMS session.
Interesting.
And what we found is that it seems to be just a little more.
Yeah.
And we just kind of added on. We don't charge for it. Do you have an opinion on that type of a protocol?
There have been different ways, different clinics or healthcare systems have.
To get a free copy of the 12-step guide that I created for you, click on the link in the description below.
Sort of improved on TMS. One is kind of adding more pulses, like you said. And we know this works. The other way I've seen some published research about adding the intermittent theta burst, which is a 3.5 minute protocol.
Right.
So we've seen clinics do that. And I think there is a recent paper out of UCLA which showed that those people who got the intermittent theta burst plus the 10 or 20 hertz TMS, which is more of the 20-minute protocol, that group did a little better.
Okay. So,
and then the other thing that has been shown to work, the earlier we get the brain into treatment. So, we see people who will get into treatment within 3 months of getting depressed. They're going to respond a lot easier. The more TMS you do, the more responders you get. So, yeah, there are definite ways. And then there's some ways where there are some actually studies where they've done cognitive behavior therapy with the TMS, and the durability improves, and there's more responders and remitters as well in these studies. So, yeah, there are various ways we can improve upon, the 8 out of 10 patients who are getting response, like you guys here are doing here. So
now I have a friend who wanted to try out TMS. He says, "Yeah, I'll try out like 5 sessions." I mean, is it even worth it for somebody to come and try five sessions out? I mean, it does to me. It doesn't seem like it would be worth the time or the money.
Again,
but maybe it could be. I don't know.
It depends on what they're after and what they're suffering from.
Right.
Any amount of TMS is going to be good for you as long as you don't have that ferromagnetic metal. So assuming he didn't have metal in his head,
right. Yeah.
He can listen to heavy metal while getting TMS. But I always.
I mean, is he going to see a benefit from it? That's the thing.
Generally not, right? Unless he's in that rapid. If he's depressed and he's in that like ultra rapid responder, or if he's getting multiple sessions a day, perhaps, right? We have some protocols that are emerging, again, not FDA cleared and needed to be studied, where people are actually coming in for 4 or 5 sessions a day for 5 days. And we're seeing some response in those folks. Yeah. But your friend who is like, again, expects to, fly away after 5 sessions in 5 days. Yeah. The brain doesn't change that quickly.
Right.
So.
Right. Even with, with psychedelics like a ketamine, they can change more quickly. With TMS, it takes a little bit longer. Yeah,
and again, the durability, right?
Right.
There's that durability. So I agree with you. There are some IV ketamine trials where we've seen people's suicidality go rapidly down, and this is phenomenal, right? Like, if I have depression with high suicidality, and I've tried a lot of treatments, ketamine might be the thing to try because the suicidality can be rapidly decreased. That being said, with these emerging accelerated protocols that we're seeing, at research centers and some other centers in the community, we're seeing suicidal ideation decrease independent of the depressive symptoms. So TMS at some point, particularly with the accelerated protocols, may be used like ketamine is being used at this point.
If you got value from this video, if you heard what you needed to hear, be sure to like it. Comment if you've got a question or you have something to say. Subscribe to the channel. Camelback Recovery provides treatment services for people struggling with mental health, mental illness, addiction, alcoholism, whatever it may be. So if you or a loved one is struggling and you need some guidance and you need some direction, reach out to us. Our contact information is down below, or you can go to our website, camelbackrecovery.com, whether it be detox, inpatient treatment, outpatient treatment, sober living, recovery coaching, sober companion services, whatever it may be. Like I said, we can either help you or make sure that you get sent in the right direction. We help people all over the country, all over the world for that matter. I'll see you on the next video.